I like to go to school. I love Elimu tales. I like a bit of science. I love Elimu tales. I like to learn new words. I love Elimu tales. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. I love Elimu tales. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. I love Elimu tales.
A, B, C, D, Elimisha. 1, 2, 3, kamilisha. Shapes, numbers, we got the answers. Hey, Elimu tunawakilisha.
I love Elimu tales.
Good morning, Mama Kamau.
Good morning, Amina. What can I do for you on this lovely day?
Well, I would like to buy some bananas. I will be going for a school hike tomorrow, and I hear the bananas are good for energy.
That is true, Amina. So, how many do you want?
How much will 5 bananas cost?
Since each banana is 10 shillings and you want 5, then the total amount needed to buy 5 bananas is 50.
But I only have 30 shillings.
It's okay. I will give you all the bananas, then you will owe me 20 shillings, which you will pay me later. So, in reality, you will now have negative 20 shillings.
Negative 20? I'm confused.
I see. You are not very familiar with negative numbers. If you are not in a hurry, I can explain how this works.
No, I'm not in a hurry. I'm all ears.
So, to understand what negative numbers are, we must remember what whole numbers are. These are the set of numbers on our number line, starting from 0 and then counting up 1 at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. But it's only half the story. And that's because the number line really goes in both directions. You are used to saying the number line starting at 0 and just going to the right. But the number line also goes to the left. And what numbers are on that part of the number line?
Negative numbers?
Yes, you guessed it right. The negative numbers are just like a mirror image of the numbers on the right side of the number line that we call the positive numbers. And 0 is the special number that separates the positive numbers from the negative numbers. Also, it is important to remember that negative numbers have a minus sign in front of them, while positive numbers are represented by a positive sign.
What if the number does not have a positive sign or a negative sign?
Then, automatically, it is assumed it's a positive number.
Oh, that makes sense, since I hardly ever see numbers written with a positive sign in front of them.
Now that you know where negative numbers are on the number line, let's try and understand them even deeper. And to start with, we shall learn to compare all these numbers and determine which is bigger.
Okay.
It is easy to compare positive numbers because we know the more to the right we go, the bigger the number is. For example, 3 is bigger than 2, and 5 is bigger than 3. But now, when it comes to negative numbers, it can be a bit confusing, but the principle remains the same. For example, we know that the more to the right the number is, the bigger it gets, and the more to the left it is, the smaller the number. So, just apply the same to the negative numbers.
So, by that logic, it means that negative 2 is bigger than negative 4, and negative 3 is bigger than negative 5.
That is true, Amina. I see you are getting the drift. So, tell me, between 2 and negative 5, which is bigger?
Well, 2 is bigger because negative 5 is to the left of 2 on the number line.
That is correct. Now, let's go to addition and subtraction. Remember, every time you add a number, you move to the right of the number place. And every time you subtract, you move to the left of the number line. For example, 2 plus 5 will give you 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 7. But when we subtract, we move to the left. So, 2 minus 5 will give you -3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. -3.
So that's why you said I have -20 shillings.
Yes, Amina. I took your 30 shillings and subtracted with the 50 shillings you needed for your bananas. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, -20. This means you have 20 shillings less, or you could say you owe me 20 shillings.
I'm a bit confused on why we need to work with negative numbers. I'm still trying to understand how we can have numbers smaller than 0.
That's a good question, Amina. Let me give you more examples of why we need negative numbers. Suppose I have 3 customers who each have a different amount of money. The first customer has 100 shillings. The next customer has 0. And the last customer actually owes me 20 shillings. So, what number do we use to represent how much money she has? Yes, -20 shillings.
Ah, okay. It's beginning to make sense.
I have more examples if you want.
Please share.
Okay, so let's say we want to measure how many meters above sea level these small islands are. This island is 20 meters above sea level. This island is only 10 meters above sea level. And this island here happens to be exactly the same height as sea level. So we can use the number 0. But what about this island? It's not even above sea level at all. It's 10 meters below the surface. But our measurement is supposed to tell us how many meters above sea level it is. Fortunately, with negative numbers, there is no problem. We can just say that its height compared to sea level is -10 meters. And temperature is another great example. We use 0 degrees Celsius to describe the temperature for water to freeze. But it can be warmer or colder than that. For example, this would be -20 degrees since it's 20 degrees cooler than 0 degrees. So, negative numbers are very useful in the real world to help describe things that can be above or below 0.
Now I see why negative numbers are important.
Yes, they are. So, can you give me a recap of what we have just discussed to see if you have understood negative numbers?
That's easy. Numbers to the right of 0 are positive numbers, and those to the left are considered to be negative numbers. And if a number is to the right of a given number, then it is bigger. And if it is to the left of that number, then it is smaller. So, for example, 2 is bigger than -3 because it's to the right of -3. But -6 is smaller than -3 because it's to the left of -3.
That is correct, Amina. Negative numbers are very important for me as a businesswoman, especially when I want to describe debt. So, when we said that you have -20, we now know that you have a balance, and for you to clear it, you need to add 20 shillings to bring you to 0 debt.
Thank you, Mama Kamau. I now see why you're a good businesswoman.
Yes, Amina. Maths is very important in our day-to-day activities.
Let me go home and prepare for my trip tomorrow. I will clear my balance when I return.
Okay, have a safe journey.